Nike landed one of the rare generational, potentially billion-dollar athletes. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, LeBron, and now Caitlin Clark.
But in addition to the jersey sales, Clark now has an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that will include her own signature shoe. The deal is the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player.
The past few days have played out like a corporate thriller, with Caitlin Clark caught in the middle of a high-stakes battle between Nike and Adidas.
She deserves it! She deserves it!
Yes, she absolutely does. In fact, many of us would go as far as saying that $28 million in 8 years for a player of Caitlin Clark's caliber is a steal.
How did Nike get her at such a reasonable, wasn't it at 22 or 32?
$28 million.
$28 million over 8 years.
Now let me tell you the story of how the world's largest sports company almost handed their golden goose to their biggest rival on a silver platter.
So why in the world are they ignoring her?
The story starts in 2022 when Clark was beginning to hit the national mainstream with the Hawkeyes.
She was so popular, Caitlin was the most recognized college player in the country by far, twice as much as second place Angel Reese.
And so, Nike jumped at the chance to sign her, which most of us saw as a statement move by the company that made athletes like Michael Jordan global icons and redefined sports branding. Nike thought they had pulled off the coup of the century. Everyone's patting themselves on the back, champagne is flowing, and the future looks bright. They've just secured a partnership with a player who would go on to transform the entire landscape of women's basketball. Fast forward to Clark's rookie season. She's not just meeting expectations, she's shattering them. We're talking 19.2 points per game, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds. But numbers don't even begin to tell the story. Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's creating a movement. Her Indiana Fever jerseys, gone in seconds. Every arena she plays in, packed to the rafters. The hype isn't just real, it's unprecedented. So, what does Nike do with this basketball phenomenon? Absolutely nothing.
We have not seen any commercials, we have not seen any ads, we have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise, and we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark signature shoes. It is mind-blowing.
Can you believe that? It's like they signed Michael Jordan and decided to keep it a secret. But here's where things get truly mind-boggling. They push her signature shoe release from 2024 to 2026, maybe even 2027. Let that sink in for a moment. The most marketable athlete in women's basketball, someone who's single-handedly bringing new fans to the sport, and Nike's response is essentially, hey, could you wait a few years? But why?
Well, the official reason from Nike is an obvious lie.
Here's what it says. The process is a delicate craft that requires input from Clark and the Nike team, not to mention manufacturing millions of pairs and the marketing campaign. Is it just me, or does this sound like a big fat lie? Well, this is where our story takes an interesting turn. According to inside sources, Nike wanted to prioritize WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson's signature shoe first. Now, let's be clear. Wilson is an incredible athlete who absolutely deserves her own shoe line. But the timing of this decision had industry insiders scratching their heads.
A'ja Wilson's not going to sell a shoe. Period. End of story. With Caitlin Clark, and I'm just going to keep it real, and I know this is embarrassing, what I'm about to say. I know it's embarrassing, but I'm going to say it. If Caitlin Clark had a signature shoe, I would wear them.
Meanwhile, what's Clark wearing on court? Nike Kobe's. Not her own signature shoe. Someone else's legacy line. It's like having a Ferrari in your garage, but choosing to drive a Honda Civic. Nothing wrong with the Civic, but come on. Enter Adidas, waiting in the wings like a predator spotting wounded prey. They saw Nike's fumble and decided to go for a full-court press. But this wasn't just some casual offer. This was a carefully orchestrated takeover attempt that would make Wall Street blush. Adidas came in hot with a package that would make any athlete's agent salivate. Creative control over marketing? Check. Faster shoe release timeline? Absolutely. Bigger financial incentives? You better believe it. They weren't just offering Clark a contract, they were offering her a partnership, a voice, a stake in her own brand. The contrast couldn't have been starker. While Nike was telling Clark to wait her turn, Adidas was rolling out the red carpet. They understood something fundamental that Nike seemed to have forgotten. In today's sports world, athletes aren't just performers, they're brands unto themselves. Nike's response? They did what any panicking corporate giant would do. They called their lawyers. That's right, Nike threatened to sue Adidas for attempting to poach their athlete. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Instead of promoting Clark, they were spending their energy in courtrooms. But let's talk numbers for a moment. Clark's Nike deal, 8 years, $28 million. Sounds impressive until you compare it to other contracts in the industry. Victor Wembanyama's $100 million deal puts things in perspective.
$100 million contract, which this is absolutely no shade to Wemby. I love Wemby. He is a up-and-coming superstar, and there was so much hype for him coming into the league. However, I will say that Caitlin Clark has created more buzz around the basketball landscape and has actually transformed and revived a league that was the WNBA.
The message seemed clear. Even as Clark was revolutionizing women's basketball, the industry wasn't quite ready to put their money where their mouth was. The internet, predictably, had a field day. Social media exploded, with fans and analysts alike roasting Nike's handling of the situation. Even Billie Jean King, an Adidas ambassador, joined the fray, publicly praising Clark's achievements. The pressure was mounting, and Nike was feeling the heat. Suddenly, Nike went into full damage control mode. Bonuses appeared out of nowhere. Production timelines mysteriously became flexible. Marketing campaigns materialized out of thin air. Everything they should have been doing from day one was now priority number one. But in business, as in basketball, timing is everything. The fallout from this debacle offers a masterclass in modern sports marketing. The first lesson is to never take your star athletes for granted. The second is to understand that sports isn't just about performance anymore. It's about narrative, engagement, and brand building. The third is that in the age of social media, you can't hide your mistakes. Industry insiders revealed that Nike's initial hesitation wasn't just about production timelines or marketing schedules. There were deeper concerns about market dynamics and brand positioning. But while Nike was busy overthinking, Adidas was busy planning. The ripple effects of this corporate drama extended beyond just Clark and Nike. It sparked conversations about athlete valuation, gender equality in sports marketing, and the changing power dynamics between brands and athletes. What started as a simple shoe deal evolved into a referendum on how sports companies value and market their female athletes. Nike's scramble to salvage the situation highlighted another crucial point. The power balance in sports marketing has shifted. Athletes, especially those with massive social media followings and dedicated fan bases, now hold more cards than ever before. The days of brands dictating terms unilaterally are over. Recent developments suggest Nike might finally be waking up to reality. There's talk of new marketing initiatives, expedited timelines, and a complete overhaul of their approach to Clark's brand. But the question remains, is it too little, too late? This entire saga reads like a case study of how not to handle a superstar athlete. Nike, a company that built its empire on innovative marketing and athlete partnerships, somehow managed to overlook the potentially transformative impact of someone like Clark. It's a reminder that even industry giants can lose touch with what made them successful in the first place. Looking ahead, the implications of this drama will likely echo through the sports marketing world for years to come. Younger athletes and their representatives are watching, taking notes, and learning valuable lessons about their worth and negotiating power. Other brands are studying Nike's missteps and are determined not to repeat them. For the sports business world, this saga represents a turning point. It's no longer enough to simply sign athletes and expect the magic to happen. Success in modern sports marketing requires understanding athlete empowerment, fan engagement, and the importance of authentic storytelling. The story of how Nike almost lost their golden goose to Adidas isn't just about shoes or contracts. It's about recognizing value, understanding modern fan dynamics, and adapting to a changing sports landscape. In the end, it's a reminder that in sports, just like in business, you can't score if you don't take the shot. Remember that $28 million we talked about at the start? That might end up being the biggest bargain in sports history, or the biggest mistake Nike has ever made. Only time will tell. As we noted earlier, the lessons here are clear. In today's sports world, respect isn't just about the initial contract. It's about how you treat your athletes after you sign them. For Nike, this should have been a slam dunk. They had everything they needed: a charismatic athlete, a passionate fan base, and a historic moment in women's sports. Instead, they're now scrambling to prevent what could be one of the biggest marketing disasters in sports history. Think about it. When was the last time you saw a major sports company so completely misread the market? When was the last time you saw a brand take a sure thing and turn it into a crisis? This isn't just a fumble, it's a masterclass in how not to handle a superstar athlete. Well, guys, what would you have done differently if you were Nike? How would you have handled a talent like Caitlin Clark? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the business of sports. Until next time, keep your head in the game and your eyes on the ball. Thanks for watching.